his promise to get me into trouble, to sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words, not mine. What happened? I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it. Did you? At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere. The cop's in his pocket and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing the menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move's all it takes. So, Kuno used us to, what, scare you? Oh, the probe into the armor. What'd you learn? Fuck it. Let's ask this. It's a minor nuisance. All good. He contemplates taking a swig from his flask. You don't need to think about that, you silly boy. It is purely human bodily function. Then again, don't shit yourself in public. The probe into the armor. What did you learn? I learned that... Or just don't shit yourself in general, to be honest. There are toilets for that. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor. What else? Not much. Technical stuff, mostly. That was the interesting part. What sort of technical stuff? I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. He explains with a wry smile. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off. How does it come off? In parts, 4 in total. Helmet was first to go. Kid said he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. I really don't know how to pronounce that. Recently I've heard it's actually pronounced cuirass. I don't know if that's true or a joke, but we're gonna go with cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Hold up. 4 pieces. Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings? I guess that would count as gauntlets, right? Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore. If they ever did at all. He gives you a jolly shrug. Forget about them. I did. That sounds suspicious as hell. Let's try and find all of it. I'm ambitious. I'm gonna find all of it. All the pieces. All of it? The lieutenant raises his... all of it? The lieutenant raises his brow. There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing. But okay, let's find all of it. It's implied he finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this. A Mescazi epic then. All across Martinez. He glances south, where the canal runs. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. Well, thank you for your cooperation, sir. No problem. He finally takes a swig from the flask. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Manana. Thank him for showing me the way. He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now. Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys? Los Hardys, he smiles. They're an independent militia group. A bit high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. Takes a swig from his flask. But really, they're just like you. Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighborhood vigilantes? Come on, he's just trying to keep the peace. Let it go. Man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair. Turns out he has a hell of a colonial mug collection. Why would I call his boss a weasel to his face? Why is this an option? And why is it about the fucking mugs?
How can I help you?
Rubbing his chin. The janitor who gave me the key to... Oh, I see, the weasel. Gave me the key to his apartment, said the guy's a bit of an asshole. See how we're all busy concentrating on the racist mugs? It's what the ruling class wants. I mean, okay. Or a man with a funny mug collection can't be that bad. All I'm saying is he had a lot of mugs. That's a centrist option. Yeah, his mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the boss man said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend. What's in here? I want to get to the boss man, but I always forget where he actually is. Where does this lead? This doesn't lead me the right way, does it? There's so much we gotta cram into this day. I'm really worried that there is a limited number of days, especially now that Joyce has told us, like, we've got like a week before Civil War breaks out, and I'm already on day 3. I don't know how accurate she is, or even if she's, to be honest, as strange as it seems, ultra-liberal rich bitch Joyce genuinely seems to be the most trustworthy person, or trustworthy major person we've found so far. Everyone else seems like a bit of a cunt. Most importantly, Everard over here, the slimiest man in the West. And I guess it's time to try and get my gun back, because fuck me, I'd feel a lot safer with a gun, even if I have no hand-eye coordination and will never land a shot in this game. Hello? Mr. Everard, God, you disgust me. Which one are you, though? I want you to be the same one I dealt with before, but I wonder if there'll be a way to tell.
Mr. Dubois,
I forgot how much you disgust me! He leans toward you, waiting for you to complete a sentence. Is a member of the board?
That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart too. How can I help you today?
Remember the container I asked you about? Turns out there's a mega-rich light-bending guy inside. Has it been that long since I spoke to him? Mega-rich light-bending guy? Oh my god, how did that get in there? He's so rich, he could get in anywhere. Or he must have been in the container when someone accidentally closed the door. Yeah, we'll go with that. Damn it to hell, Harry! I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys. I think he wants to take down the proletariat, Everett, or Kim tell him he was there. There was a guy in the container, the lieutenant says slowly, but he didn't bend any light. That was all in the detective's head. Honestly, guys, we're moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. He shakes his head. I have a reputation to protect. Should be honored by the presence of this Magus. He was half Revacholian blood and amassed his wealth using the mysterious bond of nationhood. Well, hey, the mega-rich people too. He was a nice man. Gave me stock tips. I know, but he should be giving out his money a little more. Seriously, I don't understand that. If I was a millionaire, I would just be giving 5 grand to random homeless people on the street just because you can. And because it's like a nice thing to do and it makes no difference. Why doesn't that happen? I know Bill Gates does it, but you don't really hear about many others. Anyway, the mega-rich people too. He was a nice man. Gave me stock tips. No, they're not. No, they're not. He smiles brightly. They're vermin and one just found a way inside my container. Soon he'll bring the others, all 3 of them. Thank you for telling me this. I'll see to it immediately. Bursts out laughing. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry. Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town. Good, because I didn't want him to die. I opened the door, you asked me. Can we discuss the murder now? Oh, I'm very glad to hear that, Harry, he says with a smile. One question, you didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He's unsuggestible, unswayable, and unswayable. Just tell the truth. Okay, then. I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs. Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. Oh, what a weasel. He shakes his head. Pissing on Everett's Rainbow Coalition. He was testing you, and you succeeded. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. He pretends to roll up his sleeves. Real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is going to be good. The mug collection I mentioned in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hangman's clothes. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? He grabs his head with both hands. You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organisation. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people with the power of politics. Yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder? Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. He shakes his head, laughing. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Oddly, it seems to be true. This weasel might have cleaned up after the killers. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? He imitates bashing something with an imaginary baton. There's more to police work than whacking an imaginary... You know what? I think it'd insult him if we just say nothing. Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting of a police officer. He bows slightly in his chair. I'm not a real detective. You are. That's all he's going to say on the subject. I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, and I'd like to hear what you know about it. Right now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines, sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flat caps. What am I going to upgrade this time? Possibly rhetoric or logic? I don't want to become boring, though. I might leave my logic where it is. Rhetoric or esprit de corps? Or perception? I am intrigued by perception. I'm intrigued by all the ones from like motorics and physique that actually allow us to detect things, like shivers. I really like shivers, despite it not being in my psyche intellect area. Composure I also like, because I want to be scary. You'd think that's something that should come under charisma, but unfortunately charisma isn't a thing. And instead it's just different aspects of your body. I'd really like composure. I might get it. I might also get perception. I might also get suggestion, empathy, spirit de corps, conceptualization. I like you know what? I like conceptualization. But I also... Oh, fuck. Did I do it? I don't know what I did. Apparently I did it by accident. That's fine. Yes, I'm listening. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. You mean our victim? He nods gravely. Security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship. And they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. When you say us, I'm sure you don't exactly mean you sitting in your giant Jabba the Hutt looking chair. I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from the proxy wars in Yset, Semenine, Summer Marisa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revershot into a third world slum. And honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Go on. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, I just move my container. Wait, they moved the container? Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. I lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. His face turned serious. The killers the company hired... I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting his drunk, violent, a little rapey. He shakes his head. Even the negotiator could control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out. And trees. Fuck you, buddy. By negotiator, you mean Joyce. Harry, he says, ignoring the lieutenant, what you need to realise is we dock workers. We ain't pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighbourhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it? Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their own base. Who exactly did the pushing? There's a militant wing inside the union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labour, but peacekeeping in the neighbourhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. Sounds a bit like organised crime. They're like you guys, he nods to you and the lieutenant. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. I know I had him being like posh and slimy before, but I kind of like this voice for him. Again, it sounds like organised crime. So these idealists killed our victim. What would an accent like that say? One day, Titus Hardy, leader of peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and he says, "Boss, some socialist democratic fervour drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burning the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure, sounded to me like they killed him. I gave him 2 weeks paid leave, told him to lay low to avoid retaliation. Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this? Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These aren't the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Well, that went very well, buddy. Uncertainty belies his boasting. In the end, though, he believes it, or at least he wants to believe. So he doesn't want to counter with a narrative that exonerates the Union. But why? How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? I mean, we know, but how do I know? Oh, let me tell you about these people. Slams his fist on the desk. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal East went on a little strike, yeah? The company sent in sediment, security contracts. The strike was over. The workers' rights to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and they start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. So you believe the scabs were organised by the security contracts? And we know that is true, to be fair. At least the leader is. You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take that proverbial elephant. Boys like that just don't happen to be... Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. The name of the company is Krenel. This time. Might have been Sediment before. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because of people because people like me. The remaining mercenaries are organising a tribunal to take on the Hardys. Tribunal? He appears aghast. Sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. He rubs his chin and smiles suddenly. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Change the subject. He's clearly happy about the tribunal. You don't seem too worried about it. Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Ephraim before you've even courted him properly. He wants you to do more things for him. You mentioned a lawyer girl. Oh, Liz is a bright one. He grins broadly. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it would probably turn her all fancy, but hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew. Maybe we can learn a little more. Was it a good talk? He leans back, suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve. Did I press the wrong thing? I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left, he says, slowly shaking his head. I want to, but I just can't. Man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats. I am a man of the left, personally. Not in like, oh god, so much woke culture, because that shit makes me so... oh, it's awful, isn't it, woke culture? Oh, but obviously, like, hey, do what you want. Oh, fuck. Let me try and reword this. I am left, but not like the extreme left that seems to exist nowadays, where it's like, hey, don't say that slightly offensive joke that could offend that 2 people over there in the corner of the world. Like, that's really annoying, but obviously, like, hey, if you're gay, that's really cool. Hey, if you're that thing, that's cool. Do whatever, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. That is my philosophy. As long as it ain't a crime or infringing human rights. Anyway, I am not a man of the left. I'm a patriot of Revachol. You're right not to trust me. I take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer. What are you what's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. I do what my heart tells me to do. What does your heart... Oh, the world's most laughable centrist. Fuck! What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? He picks something from his teeth. I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you. And what would this entail? Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. He pulls out an envelope, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. Kim, what do you think of this? It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful. He studies Evra, but he thinks it's your call. As I said, weighs on me heavily. He bows his head in shame, then looks up and smiles. But once we get really talking, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you find out who's behind the killing. He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things. What are the signatures for? I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. He grins broadly. It will be righteous. We're going to get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast, some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. And where is this place exactly? On the coast, Harry. Across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there. A little village, they're calling it. Gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the... What? Under the fish in the box? Okay. And the wind howls like a vicious spirit. Thanks, Shivers. That was really helpful. What will happen to the occupants? They're just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months. Then they'll be living like kings right next to a fancy new youth centre. Designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out onto the street? That's exactly what I could say, so here we go. Am I... The big man shakes... Am I... Big man shakes his head in disbelief. Harry, these people... Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth centre there. Value of these properties goes up and the kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour. He means it. Okay. Then fair enough, I'll do it. Fine. If I happen to be there, I can ask him. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such pleasure to be working with you. Here. He hands you a white envelope. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac right past the pawn shop on the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed by now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. He runs his finger through his thin hair. What does make it even shadier mean? But also go over some details. Talk to the boys. Turns out the hanging was a cover-up. They were helping a young woman named Classier. Actually, talk about Hardy first. How they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Young men. One of them is like 200 years old. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Cool members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. He starts laughing. Gotta love his initiative. Interesting. Who's second in command? Well, they're almost all of... What? They're almost all of them great guys. Okay. Almost all of them are great guys. Spawn leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revershow in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. That's him allowing the police to ask his men questions. He's betting on them being useless to you. Can you ask the Hardys to cooperate with me? But of course, it's the least I can do, my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we concluded this talk. You can now go and tell Titus about this, see what he has to say. Also, Harry, it's 5 real. Holds out a banknote. Why are you giving this to me? I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Needless to say, this is another move. Don't take it. I don't need it. I only wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. He pockets the bill. But I am willing to share information. Was there anything else? I've talked to the boys, and it turns out the hanging was a cover-up. They were helping a young woman named Classier. I don't know whether to tell him this or not. Fuck it. Of course. Just blew smoke up my arse. There's disappointment in his voice. I guess they're not as tough as they say they are. Or there's more to this than meets the eye. You're disappointed. I'm not, he says with the widest of smiles. But I guess you need to talk to this Classier person now. Oh, what a job. Do you know Classier? Oh, the chick Titus and the boys been hanging around all winter. She hasn't wrapped around her finger. They're paying her rent, bringing her shit. Maybe that's connected too. He seems excited by the possibility. I'm not some kind of genius judge of character. What happened here is up to you to figure out, Harry. Let's change the subject. What does made it even shadier mean? What? The big man looks at you surprised. The brew! The shady brew! Oh, how could I forget your little side project? Oh, well done, Harry, well done. Don't even tell me what it was, but good job. I love it when workers take the initiative like this. I met Joyce, company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. He adjusts a button on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here, yeah? Just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Smart widens. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. Oh, I'm not a jealous guy. Oh, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice. You sure? I find that a little odd. I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Slams his fist into his hand. Politics is all about emotions. And I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Is that even possible when you look like this? You know those awful pictures of like, hey, realistic Patrick Star or whatever, like when they made cartoon characters look all realistic? That's what you look like. And I hate it. I want you to die, you horrifying melting creature.